there, I'm Mike Douglas in Vail, Colorado for the 8th annual U.S. FreeSkiing Open presented by Saab. I'm here at the Big Air event, which is the marquee event of this competition, and over the next hour, we're going to see the world's best skiers face off in superpipe, slopestyle, and crossmax. Historically, the U.S. FreeSkiing Open has provided a platform on which the sport has progressed and careers have been launched. Back in 1998 at the Winter Olympics in Nagano, Johnny Mosley won with a trick he adopted from the first U.S. FreeSkiing Open champ, J.F. Toussaint. In '99, Philippe Poirier showed off the potential of the sport by winning the Big Air with a switch backflip. In 2002, C.R. Johnson raised the bar again with his Bio 1260, 3.5 spins. 2003 saw Tanner Hall become the dominant force in the sport, and the progression shifted from the air to the rails. Crossmax went from chaotic beginnings to attracting some of the world's fastest skiers for motocross on snow.
This year there's just such a wide variety of people and styles and tricks.
It's pretty cool to see the field size grow and see the talent grow.
Just the vibe of the whole U.S. Open, you know, just progressing the sport every year.
It's the first competition that actually gave women a chance to participate.
The U.S. Open is an open event, so anyone can sign up.
If you're sitting there on the couch today, if you want to sign up and enter the race, you can.
A kid can come out of nowhere, win it, and just become pro superstar right overnight.
Yeah, I really like to become a pro skier. It's my dream.
It's pretty cool just seeing like all the pros that you see in all the movies and everything, just seeing them for the first time. But it's scary just like versing them because you know they're just going to win and they're just going to look at you and go, oh, it's a little kid.
Kind of keeps me in check here watching all these young kids come up and, you know, knowing that I can still dominate them.
Yeah. Thank you, far too kind. Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, I need to make some noise. Get him, Jay. Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. And I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can none of y'all mirror me back? Yeah, hear me rap, it's like hand G rapping his prime. When you first come in the game, they try to play you. Then you drop a couple of hits, look how they wave to you. From Marcy to Madison Square, scream to your lungs to soar.
We're starting out at the Super Pipe, the first of our 4 events here at the U.S. FreeSkiing Open. This event rumored to be making its Olympic debut in 2010.
How's it going, everyone? Pat Parnell, and I'm joined by Uncle E as we are about to get set for the hyper-progressive event known as Super Pipe. We'll be taking a look at the women, but when we talk about the men, it seems like it's getting that much harder to make the podium with each year here at Vail.
Well, with an open format like this, you've got guys from all over the country, all over the world coming out. Guys like Tanner Hall, Sean Field, Weckstein, anybody's game. But Hall is so darn good, so darn solid. I think he's the pick for today, but they're going high, they're going huge. It's going to be good.
And remember, Tanner Hall, the top qualifier. Let's get underway with the Super Pipe finals from Vail. Some standout runs from earlier in qualifying. First up, it was Dan Marion.
And with ideal conditions, Dan Marion showed up to impress the judges and the crowd with style, amplitude, and master trickery.
And coming off an ankle injury last year, back in form, Andy Woods.
You'd never know it by throwing crazy tricks like this, a big 900 and sticking it.
And the Buzzmaster, everyone's talking about Tanner Hall in Vail.
And when this guy is on, he is so hard to beat, the rock-solid stallion, Tanner Hall.
So the men's Super Pipe finals still to come. Also competing this week in Vail, the women. One to watch there, Sarah Burke.
My name's Sarah Burke. I am 22 years old from Midland, Ontario, Canada.
With an unbelievable 900, Sarah Burke takes the slopestyle victory.
Sarah Burke, our most experienced skier here by far.
I guess this is my 5th year here at the US Open, and when I started it was just, the jumps were a lot smaller, rails were easier, and it was just kind of making it down, doing a trick. There was probably maybe 5 girls when we started, and this year, 2005, we're up to 30 maybe, and we have a waiting list. You know, I've been around for a long time, and now all these girls are coming in. It's what I've wanted, but the younger girls are slightly intimidating to me just because every girl's throwing 7, spinning off rails, some of them are spinning on, so it's, you know, it's kind of like... To hear them say that I've been an inspiration makes me feel really good, and, you know, makes me want to go up and talk to them and see what they're doing and hang out with them. I love it. I love the feeling of doing something new. I love being out there with my friends, doing lap after lap, and I gotta keep up with the younger girls now.
And that's if you consider 22 old. Regardless, she has inspired many as we take a look back at our top 3 finishers from Women's Superpipe. Grabbing the 3rd spot, Jen Hudak. And no stranger to the podium, grabbing 2nd, Kristi Leskinen. But the rider of the day, none other than Sarah Burke.
Well, the smooth veteran delivered the right recipe for success. She had the style, she had the amplitude, and the mastered trickery. That's why she landed on top of the podium. And the 4th member of our broadcast team, Charlotte Moats, caught up with our winner.
Sarah, you've never won the halfpipe at the US Open before. Was your strategy any different today?
No, it was just I had a conservative first run, and then I went for it the second one.
Can you finally celebrate now?
Yes, definitely. On the top of the podium, I'm psyched.
A hearty congrats to the hardest working goddess in the free ski biz, Sarah Burke.
When we return to Hair is Human, Greg Tuffelmeyer and the boosting air of Tanner Hall take to the Superpipe.
The 2005 U.S. Free Skiing Open is being brought to you by Saab, the state of independence, and by Solomon and Xbox.
Welcome back, everyone, to Vail, Colorado for the 2005 U.S. Free Skiing Open in the midst of the men's Superpipe finals. Current standings look like this with just a handful of the first of 2 runs to go. Sean Field on top with that 82, followed by Matthias Wexton and Andy Woods in 3rd. Now expect the leaderboard to shuffle because it is best run that counts here in the Superpipe finals. Up top, dropping in on his first of 2 runs, the veteran, Greg Tuffelmeyer.
Watch this guy's first hit. He's known for going ginormous with big spins and big drifting down the pipe. He winds it up. He goes for the 1260 and he sticks it. I think he kind of shocked himself that he actually landed that. But notice how he's drifting down the pipe. He's unable to get as many hits in as some of the other guys. And I'll tell you, the judges want to see quantity, not just quality.
High risk, high reward, though. 1260 on the first hit.
To land this thing and continue it on is an act of God. Watch, he kind of surprises himself right there. But you know what? That was enough for first place.
83 for Tuffelmeyer. Up top, dropping in on his first of 2 runs. An entrepreneur, a ski film star, the most formidable rider in the sport, and our top qualifier, Tanner Hall.
And he's been working real hard on his pipe skills. What he has is a bunch of variety and amplitude and style. That's what the judges like to see. Starts out with a 540 with 2 grabs, and then a huge 900 with style, matching those transitions and keeping his speed going, rounding it off with a flare. That was a rock solid run.
And we commonly throw the word style out there. What it means, though, he holds those grabs on the rotations very difficult.
Well, Tanner is a master of making the tough look easy. Right here, 2 hands on 1 ski. No one else is doing that. That's Tanner Hall for you. Right here at 900, tweaked out, gets the grab in, just redefining style.
All right, Tanner, you've never won this event before. Do you think you've got it today?
I never really tried to think about having it in the bag before it's over, you know what I mean? It's just, my riding is really consistent right now, and that was one of the best pipe runs I've ever had. Good energy, I'm stoked, and hopefully it'll come out good.
Yeah, hopefully. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Charlotte.
So Tanner Hall, 91.6, moves into first place as we get underway with the second runs. Dropping in, 16-year-old rider on the Vail team, John Spriggs, currently in 5th place.
He's got to put down the run of a life in order to knock off Tanner Hall. Starts it off with some style. Want to see that amplitude and a lot of tricks, just like we saw Tanner Hall do. And a big floating 900 way down the pipe. And he rounds it off with an alley-oop 540. Pretty good looking run, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it wasn't of the finesse and the caliber that Tanner had.
And slightly less amplitude and some subtle casings on the lip.
Well, for 16, some solid moves by the local boy. The flare into his signature 900 a great run.
John, you're boosting in front of your hometown crowd today. What's it like to compete here in Vail?
I love it. Pipe's so prime right now, and these next runs are just going to be insane.
So Spriggs jumps from 5th to 3rd with an 82.2 and at the top of the pipe, currently in 7th place. 17 years old. He's only been competing since back in '04. Back in Vermont last year, won the half pipe at the Vermont FreeSkiing Open. Corey Vanuler.
Well, Corey attends a school called the Carabasset Valley Academy outside of Sugarloaf, Maine, where you get an education and you get to ski each and every day and hone in on tricks like that. The big 900 lands at the top of the pipe, keeps his momentum going, but he's got to really step it up right here. A big trick on the end. Yeah! And he does deliver the big trick, the 1080. 3 full rotations, landing backwards. Folks, it's so tough to do. Great form, nice style, and sticks it.
So Vanuler into 2nd. One skier can upset the balance. The spry, limber Schoenfield. Watch the drift. Stratospheric airs.
I've watched this guy. Oh, man, I've watched him since he's been 14. He's not afraid to go huge. And that amplitude right there, folks, that's 15 to 20 feet out of the pipe, and he keeps it going, which is a super impressive thing. Judges love to see the amplitude card. That's one of the big scoring factors out here. That's going to rank up there in the top 3. I don't know if it's enough to knock off Tanner, though. Look at this amplitude. Way up out of the pipe, able to keep it going. However, not as many hits as Tanner Hall had. Amplitude's one thing, but what about the style and the trickery? It's up to the judges now.
Field falls just short, but makes the podium, 87.8. Tanner Hall secured the deal on his first of 2. Final standings look like this. Tanner Hall with the win, followed by Schoenfield, and Corey Vanuler in 3rd. When we come back, an international field claw at the slopestyle podium. Defending champ Norwegian Greta Eliassen and the crafty Canuck, Charles Gagne.
Vail has a well-earned reputation as one of the world's best ski resorts. But on the youth side, they're not only known for hosting the US FreeSkiing Open, they're also known for their quality terrain parks. Standing here with me is John Spriggs. John, tell me what it's like to live and compete and train here in Vail.
It's great. They always have really good jumps up before the Open, so you can get up there, you can get some training in, and it's really good to have it right in your back door.
I'm here with Sean Carney, Terrain Park Supervisor at Vail. Sean, tell us what kind of features a visitor can expect when they come to Vail.
Well, right now we're standing atop the Vail Super Pipe, which is 400 feet long and it has 18-foot high walls, and that transitions into our advanced park just below us, which features jumps, as well as the Jib Park, which is a rail park. And then we also move over to our moderate park, which is just to the west of us, called Mule Skinner. And then finally we have a beginner park over on the western side of the mountain called Bawana. And basically here at Vail, we have something for every age and rider ability, snowboarder, skier, whatever you are. Come on out and check us out. We've got something for you.
The slopestyle competition is all about tricks. In the rail section at the top of the course, look for athletes to do things like a 450 to rail. That means they jump up high off the jump, do 1 1/4 rotations, and land smoothly on the rail. The feature you see below me is the last tabletop on this course. This is where the athletes are going to be throwing down their biggest tricks. Look for tricks like the switch 1080. That means they come in backwards, do 3 full revolutions, and land backwards. The judges want to see style as well. They want to see grabs held throughout the maneuver.
So a very creative course, a lot of features to contend with, and after hearing from the women's competitors on slopestyle, one of the most challenging to date, many struggle with this course, but 3 that made it to the top of the heap. In 3rd place, Ashley Battersby.
Yeah, the 15-year-old from Park City doing great justice to the rails and the big jumps and big features. She earned herself 3rd place.
And earlier you saw her prowess in the pipe. She grabbed the win there. Sarah Burke showing her versatility on slopestyle.
Not afraid to go big and throw it down, as we've seen through the years. This big 900 at the end washes out just a bit. That might have been the difference between 1st and 2nd place.
But the one skier that was able to rise above a contentious field and a very vexing course, the Norwegian skier Greta Eliassen.
Yeah, coming on strong to the scene last year at 17, really impressing everybody. Watch the finesse on the rails, and her jumping so progressive and so stylish, almost looking like some of the guys out there. And then down below, putting a punctuation mark on a great run, the 900 with style. Remember this name, Greta Eliassen, the champ of women's slopestyle.
All right, Greta, you've won the U.S. Open. What are you going to do with all this cash?
I'm going to put it in my bank account and save it.
So her bank account a little richer, and one of the most coveted titles in the sport belongs to Greta Eliasson. Congratulations to all of our top finishers. Third place finisher Ashley Battersby, second Sarah Burke, and Greta Eliasson, the champ, as we move on to men's slopestyle finals here on the top of Gold Peak in Vail, Colorado.
And talk about a packed field, the world's best congregating out here for the slopestyle. Starting things off with Aspen local Peter Olenek. Earned himself a second place at the X Games last year, and he's had great momentum ever since. Starting off on the rails. Now, Mike, what's so tough about hitting these rails?
Well, the rails are very, very slippery. It's like putting grease on your tennis shoes and trying to walk around on a linoleum floor. But Pete makes it look easy, tricking on and off these rails. Here he is on the 50-foot truth rail. Whoa, coming off a little bit early. Now that's going to cost him a few points. Now as he lowers down into the course, he gets into a series of 3 tabletop jumps.
This is where progression comes into play, mixing up the tricks, using different pieces of the puzzle to paint a pretty picture for the judges. Now in practice, I saw him throw 3 full rotations on the bottom, and he was doing some magic. Let's see if he can stick this one here. 1, 2, oh!
Solid! Switch 1080 from Peter Olenek, stomping it smooth, getting the stylish grab in the air as well.
All right, Peter, you went huge at the end of that last run. Do you think that's going to be enough?
I think so. I messed up a little at the top, so we'll just see how it goes.
So Olenek sets the tone, 82.6 the score to beat as we move to French-Canadian-born Charles Garnier. And this guy, a preeminent progressor when you talk about rails, and so comfortable with unnatural tricks.
And starting his run off, remember, this is not a timed run, folks. It's all about the judged event. They can take their time getting into it and then start their run and start doing different tricks. That's what style is all about in slopestyle.
Whoa, change up on the truth rail. A lot of competitors having trouble just getting across that thing. And Charles changed directions. Look at this style in the air. Spinning right side off the top. Then he's going to mix it up. He goes left side, switch rodeo 720. Very, very technical moves from Charles Gagne.
Grabs with such authority.
The big jump on the bottom. And there's that cool, unique style again. Way down the landing hill. Oh, he's got to be stoked on that run.
That's one of the best runs I've ever seen.
Okay, Charles, that was huge. What are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. All the rails and jump went good, so I'm happy.
Nice. Well, do you think that's enough to land you on top of the podium?
I don't know. There's a lot of guys that are pretty good, so I'll wait till the end of the contest.
All right. Well, I hope you make it.
Thanks.
The French-Canadian into the lead, but Tanner Hall along with Yoon Olsen, their runs right after this. Back to the men's slopestyle finals, still on top, French-Canadian Charles Gagne with the 92, but yet to ride Tanner Hall, one of the most dominant and competitive forces in the sport of free skiing.
My name's Tanner Hall. I'm 21 years old, and I'm from Kalispell, Montana, and I represent Park City, Utah. First time I ever showed up here at the U.S. Free Skiing Open was, I think, in '99. You know, I just realized just a couple weeks ago that it's just, you know, this is really good for our sport, and this is really what, you know, gives kids a chance to push to the limit. It's all about style when it comes down to it. Just making it look like just true art on skis, you know what I mean? Having people look at it and just be like, oh my God. That's what I like to see, you know, and I'm sure that's what everybody else wants to see. Excuse my French. I'm a contest kid. I love them, you know what I mean? I love the environment. I love how I feel at them. I love everything about it. And I got 4th place last year, and I don't like 4th place, man. I want to get 1st place back again.
So the question remains, Tanner Hall, without a doubt, one of the strongest forces in the sport, but when you look down at the bottom, Charles Gagne forced to sit and wait and see if Tanner can better that. Possible?
Tanner Hall is the man. He's been put in these pressure situations so many times before, and like he said, he loves being in this spotlight. And right now, he started off in his rails in a heated fury because he wants to be on top again.
There you see Tanner sliding straight across the truth rail where we saw Jaquet do a change-up. So advantage to Jaquet on the top of this course. Tanner looking smooth coming down into the jump section, but he's going to have to do something very, very spectacular if he wants to top Jaquet.
Yeah, that was a solid run by Charles, and right now Tanner has to do his big trick on the bottom jump. Winds it up with that patented style. A good-looking jump, not quite the distance that Jaquet had. I don't know if that's going to be enough. We've got Charlotte with Tanner down below.
All right, Tanner, you're smiling. You're doing a victory dance. How was that run?
That was the best slopestyle run I've ever done in my life, with the switch 450 to 270 with the cab 10, the switch right side, landed everything. Yeah, you're a skier, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, back up at the first rail, if we look at both guys, watch Jaquet on the left. He does a 270 onto this rail. Tanner comes on straight. So advantage to Jaquet up top on the rails. A little lower down on the jumps. Jaquet, with all the style over there on the left, does 3 full rotations. Hall only does 2. I'm going to have to give this run to Charles Jaquet.
So a winded Hall in disbelief, and 88.2, only good enough for second. But back up top, Jamy Olsen, one of the best all-around skiers and one with quite the work ethic when it comes to practicing skiing. And he is the last skier that can upset the balance in slopestyle finals.
And he is also one of the most consistent competitors out here. In every major event he's done in the past 4 years, he's podium. So he's a force to be reckoned with, and right now he's on the rails.
Jamy taking a unique line through the rails, something we haven't seen from the other guys, but he's keeping these rails pretty stock, not taking a lot of chances like we saw Jaquet and Hall do.
And he needs to hang it on the line here in order to knock off that 92 by Jaquet. And right now, like you said, Mike, he's not really putting that full throttle into it, stuff we've seen before, but the judges want to see that risk versus reward.
Yeah, I mean, Jamy's a very, very smooth skier. He's got great style, but the risk is something that the judges always take into effect. You gotta wow them. With a 1080 at the finish, it was a good finish, but maybe too little too late.
All right, Jamy, you're really good at being second and third here. You finally put your run together. Do you think that's enough?
I don't know. A lot of good guys out there.
So what kind of scores do you think we're going to be looking at?
I have no idea. I wish I know, though. I'm really curious.
So for Olsen, the conservative approach paying off, making the podium, but in third place. Tanner Hall in second. That means the big win, Charles Jaquet with the 92 that could not be bettered. The password, unnatural and very comfortable with the grabs.
Well, Mike, you called it. One of the best runs you've ever seen. What made this one stand out?
Well, Charles Jaquet took chances on every single feature all the way down this course. He took risks that the other competitors just seemed unwilling to take, and it paid off. Not only that, but he did it with style.
All right, Charles, this is your first Open and your first major international competition. How does it feel to win today?
It feels so good. I've been waiting for that for so long, so I could not be more stoked than that.
An epic performance from Jaquet set the tone with the 92, perfect from top to bottom. No one could come close to match it. Congrats once again to all of our men's slopestyle competitors, Jamy Olsen, Tanner Hall, and Charles Jaquet, the French-Canadian, the champ. When we come back, 6 racers battle at once in Crossmax, and the Big Air takes flight at night in Vail.
It's time to shift gears here in Vail. We go from style to all-out speed. It's motocross on snow, and it's called Crossmax.
Standing in the finish area here at the Saab Solomon Crossmax, where we will crown a king and a queen. Uncle E joined by Charlotte Moats. Crazy course. Who are some of your top picks?
On the women's side, I'd be looking at Ashley McIver. She's had a medal here before, but she's got to get past X Games gold medalist Anique Demers. For the men, the Chris brothers have 4 medals here between the two of them, but there's some fast Euros, such as the Swede Lars Levian. You know what? This is skier cross, and anybody could take it.
Control chaos at all times. Let's get right to the action.
So there is an adjustment to crossmax this year at the U.S. FreeSkiing Open. 6 racers wide at once, a whole shot to contend with. So contact not if, but when, as we look back at quarterfinal action.
Yeah, orange and green. Ted Davenport, Darren Johnson getting tangled up right from the get-go. That's the nature of the beast in crossmax. A little more tangling going on with Peter Lind and the blue jersey of Justin Glick. When it comes down to it, the top 3 advance out of each round. Lind, Christ, and Glick.
Quarterfinal number 3, and more racers go down up top.
Yeah, the start, so tough to negotiate with so many edges and so many poles going on. Top 3 advancing out of this round, Lars Levian, Enoch Cavaggio, and Laurent Caiolo.
And quarterfinal number 4, one to watch there, Reggie Christ.
Yeah, in the red jersey, always playing the smart game. He's on the outside, no one to get tangled up with. You see in the gray, once again, Jamie Parks goes down before he has a chance to get the skis underneath him. And then down on the bottom, setting his sights on getting to that finals, Reggie Christ, followed by Quistad and Brett Fisher, all making it on to the semifinals.
So the semifinals are set, and if you notice, up top in semi 1 is Zach Christ, semi 2, Reggie Christ. Now, this is a family steeped in racing tradition, and as of late, they have become synonymous with success in the sport of crossmax.
The U.S. Open is definitely one of the premier events.
I consider it to be one of the longest running skier crosses, and for me it has tradition, and I've had some good luck here in the past.
First place, Reggie Christ.
My first trip here, I won bronze, and I haven't been back on the podium since, so I'm getting hungry.
I always like to be on the podium at the U.S. Open. It's a goal every year.
Defending champ Reggie Christ from Sun Valley wants it badly. He is out in front of the red.
There's definitely a lot of technique involved and a lot of power.
You can't just be, strong. You have to actually be agile, quick, and aggressive.
Here comes Chris on the outside.
The timing is so finite that you just, one small step in the wrong direction and you're going to get overtaken.
My strategy is get out in front and stay there.
Once again, Reggie Chris all day long getting the whole shot.
It's good, actually, to be in the same heat with my brother because I always know he's going to respect my space, so that's huge.
It's always fun to race against my brother. For us, it's it's always good to try and keep it in the family.
It's good to have friends in this game.
But hard to find friends at the starting line of crossmax. Semifinal number 1, keep your eyes in the green. That is Zach Christ.
Coming out of the start, not a great start, and then he gets boxed out, has to stand up, and he's already put to the back of the pack. Not a great way to start. In the red, in the lead, the whole shot recipient, Mr. Tyler Shepard. Such an advantage to be out in front, because look at the guys in the back right now, scrapping for position. And remember, in crossmax, only the top 3 advance to the finals. In the red, Shepard. In the orange, Massimiliano Ieza. And in the gray, in that ever-important transfer spot, is the Rock, Ryan McCullough. Where is Zach? Zach has to make up a lot of ground right here in order to make a pass. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
Oh, and Chris goes down.
I don't know what happened back there, but there goes his chances of making it to the finals and advancing on.
The Italian Ieza, along with Ryan McCullough and Tyler Shepard, grabbing those 3 coveted transfer spots.
Don't blink here at crossmax. You could miss something. Back to the top for semi number 2.
Ones to watch for in the yellow jersey, Lars Levian out of Sweden, infamous for his starts. The American Reggie Christ in red, and Enoch Cavaggio out of France in the blue.
Yeah, these are 3 seasoned veterans, been at this game so long. The other 3 on the right-hand side are shucking and jiving for position. That's not going to help out their chances down this 45-second sprint course. You talked about the starts of Lars Levian in the yellow. Look at him just command it, charging way out in front with no one in his way. In the blue is Enoch Cavaggio, the Dark Lord of Ski Across, and in the red, you got Reggie Christ. Now let's talk a little strategy and tactic for 4, 5, and 6. You see in the gray in 4th place, going to try to do some NASCAR-type drafting and try to catch in or reel in Reggie Christ in the red. But this is a short course. These are seasoned veterans, like I said. No way it's going to happen here today at Vail. 3 guys going to the finals. Lars Levian, Enoch Cavaggio, Reggie Christ.
So our men's crossmax final is set. We'll get to that in just a moment. Right now, we get underway with the women's crossmax here in Vail.
And there's 6 super goddesses up top ready to do battle. 2 gals to point out. The red, Anique Demirs, and the gray, Ashley MacGyver. They've been all over the world doing FIS races, Saab Salman Crossmax races. They're poised, and right now they're in the lead, going for that coveted top spot.
And look at the contact right there.
Yeah, neither one of them want to concede going into this first turn because they know once they get to that first turn, it's tough to pass. And it looks like Ashley MacGyver from Canada has the advantage, with Anique Demirs, Mighty Mouse in the red, coming on strong. But look at the yellow. Brett Buckles with that pink helmet trying to make a move. But I tell you what, seeing these races time and time again on this short track, all Ashley has to do is set her sights on calculated maneuvers and focus on that finish line. She's got it. Not a long course, not much left. It looks like Ashley MacGyver is going to take this one handily. Oh! Lisa Adeskog in the blue going down in the back. An unfortunate turn of events. But for Ashley MacGyver, she takes the win. Anique gets second. Brett Buckles in third.
Okay, Ashley, you did not get the whole shot, but you managed to make a pass. What happened up there?
There's a bit of pushing out of like before the first corner, and I actually said, I was like, Anique. And she almost pinched me out like she did in the first run, but I just stayed with it, and it worked out.
So good thing for MacGyver, she was able to convince her fellow Canadian Demirs to pull back. A great race by the women as we are set for the men. And if you look at the names, Levian, Shepard, Gavaggio, Ietza, Christ, and McCullough, a completely stacked field.
You know, Reggie and Lars have both won this event before. You're looking at Lars in the red, outside left. That's Tyler Shepard in the yellow. The green on the outside right is Reggie Chris. So taking a conservative route on the outside, we'll see if it pays off. Lock loaded, gate drops, here we go.
And Levian in the red, once again, powerful with the start.
And it looks like Reggie Chris got his skis hung up and almost clipped that gate in the green, struggling for position right now.
Gavaggio, contact there with Chris.
And this is CrossMax at its finest. Anything can happen anywhere on the course. And look at Lars Levian in the red. The powerful Swede wants to taste that victory. And he's got nobody in front of him and a huge, huge gap on this short course. If you want to excel on CrossMax, focus on those starts. Lars Levian, only 3 years into this sport, is such a dominant force, and there's not enough room left on the course for anybody to catch him. He will be back on top of the podium. Your king here at the Saab Solomon CrossMax, Lars Levian.
And Enoch Gavaggio able to make a pass midway. He grabs second, and Tyler Shepard, the U.S. racer, grabs third.
Time and time again, a race can be won or lost in the start. Reggie, bad start. Lars, a great one. And Charlotte's with our champ.
Okay, Lars, this is your third year on the podium. This year you won it. You won every heat today. This seems like your day and your event.
Yeah, I feel really happy right now. I mean, I skied really well today, and I'm just so happy.
So the Saab Solomon CrossMax team took 1 through 4 today. What are you guys doing?
I don't know. We have a good, strong team and very good skis.
So congratulations goes out to our podium powerhouses of CrossMax, Tyler Shepard, Enoch Gavaggio, and our champ, Lars Levian. When we return, we are clear for liftoff at Vail. Men's Big Air after this.
Welcome back to the Big Air, the Rockstar ski event of the U.S. FreeSkiing Open. We've got thousands of fans on hand to watch the skiers throw down and take in the live music of the Winter Fresh Snowcore Tour and the band Crossfade.
If only you could watch me fall, I cannot feel it anymore. The soul you catch, the soul you adore. Cannot feel you anymore, 'cause you've run through me with destructive force. How I feel like I'm starless. I'm ready to fade now. And how I feel like I'm starless. I'm hopeless and
The purists and the fans of free skiing coming out in force for one of the more popular events, Big Air. The best thing, head-to-head format, single elimination. And the judges looking for some specific things.
Yeah, although it's a one-hit wonder, there's 4 major components. First and foremost, just like the pipe, amplitude. How big you going? Simon Dumont, known for going huge, that's what it's all about. Next component, style. Just like in the slope style. What type of dots on the I's, crossings of the T's are you doing? Yoon Olsen knows style better than anybody. Thirdly, difficulty. Are you mixing up some crazy tricks like Mike Wilson, the double underflip or double Lincoln loop? Crazy stuff. Judges like to see that. Then the landings. Bottom line, you gotta stomp it or you're not taking home the gold.
And it's frightening how commonplace tricks such as the 1080 are becoming.
Yeah, the most common trick we're going to see out here tonight is the switch 1080. That means the skier comes in backwards, rotates around 3 times off the jump. Of course, they're going to want to get a grab in there like Charles Gagne for style, and the backward landing stomped clean.
So the final round of 8, here's how things stack up. Remember, it is head-to-head, single elimination. Going to be do or die on these jumps.
And the first battle of the evening featured Yoon Olsen going up against TJ Schiller. Unfortunately, Yoon Olsen unable to stick the landing on his 1080, going down in a heated fury. Schiller, on the other hand, just had to put down an easy jump, stick the landing, and he would move on. Next up, Henrik Weinstedt, the Swede, up against Laurent Favre. Weinstedt with a solid-looking 1080, puts the landing gear down, but Favre one-ups it with a little more style, stomps that landing, and he advances on.
In duel number 3, it was Tanner Hall taking on Jakob Wester from Sweden. Hall sticking it clean with the 1080, but Jakob Wester a little bigger, a little more style, and he advances. But here's the story of the weekend. 14-year-old Derek Spong, first time at the US Freeskiing Open, throws down a huge switch 1080 mute grab, taking on the slopestyle champion, Charles Gagne. Gagne also with a big 1080, but not quite as big as Spong, and Spong's heading to the semifinals.
So here's the Final Four as we look forward to the semis and the finals, where the format will slightly change. Best 2 out of 3 jumps, a name to watch here, of course. TJ Schiller won last year in slope and is runner-up in big air.
One of our top qualifiers of the day.
Right now, it's showtime.
A complete unknown, though, TJ Schiller.
It's nice to see all you guys back here, all you gals. All right, we're gonna pick this one up now.
This kid is coming out of nowhere, 17 years old. This guy is not disappointed. Switch 1260.
It's coming through with TJ Schiller.
A 270 into the staircase.
That's one skier out there that will definitely not disappoint.
TJ Schiller leaving it all on the hill. First time that trick has ever been thrown in a major competition.
270 onto the rail, huge switch 1080. This is what the US Open's all about.
Attitude for sure can bring out style. The Grom came out again and just busted out. I tell them to jump with it. Don't try to make everybody happy. Just go with it, but always listen to your conscience.
Unexpected indeed. TJ Schiller, your 2004 US Freeskiing Open champion.
So Schiller has some great momentum coming into the 2005 Big Air, but you talk about who he's against, Laurent Favre. He's got so many tricks. The question is, how does he play his game card with 3 jumps?
Yeah, a new format here, and Favre goes first. So TJ said, you know what, Favre, go. Throw down a jump right now. I'll see if I can do better than that coming up. Right now, Favre winds up a gigantic 720 going backwards to backwards and puts a landing gear down. Not a tremendously difficult jump compared to some of the 9s and 10s we've been seeing, Mike.
Yeah, Favre taking an interesting strategy. He decided just to go big. He took that jump right to the very bottom of the landing hill, but TJ Schiller has a more difficult jump planned. It's a switch 1080. So basically, if Schiller puts his jump down clean, he's probably going to win this round. Here comes Schiller dropping in switch.
Let's see what he's got planned for us. 1, 2, 3 full rotations and stomps the landing.
Now, Schiller had such great style. Look on the right side of the screen. Schiller holding the mute grab all the way around. Technically difficult and stylish. He's going to win.
Well, Schiller gets the nod on the first jump of 3 as we move back to the top in our next semifinal matchup. Jakob Wester against this guy, Derek Spong, 14 years old. You feel pressure at 14?
No way, you can't feel anything at 14. I know this kid has been training super hard. No expectations whatsoever. Watch this kid's style. Launches it backwards like everybody else, and then holds the grab and stomps the landing. Love this little kid.
Yeah, Derek Spong, a switch 1080 at 14 years old. I don't think I've ever seen that done before.
And we say it time and time again, well, that's what the US Open is all about, is showcasing new young talent. Jakob Wester on his first jump.
The guy's from Sweden. He's a newcomer to the game, too, in the semifinals, coming in switch or backwards. He winds up an impressive switch 1080 and puts a landing gear down. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a judge.
No, neither would I, but look at Spong on the left, a little bit smoother.
And as a result, Spong gets the nod.
All right, Derek, this is your first U.S. Open. What's it like being out here with all this crowd tonight?
It's incredible. So fun.
So what's your strategy for focusing on your next jump?
Go big, hold the grab.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
As we join the first matchup, Schiller and Favre in their second jump. And don't forget, Schiller won the first of 3 jumps, so this is do or die on the second jump for Favre.
Here goes the flying Frenchman. If you remember, he had 2 full rotations last time. I think he's really going to have to put the pedal to the metal and do 3 rotations here in order to... Oh, and the 0 spin and a huge one with the crash. And unfortunately, it's a cakewalk now for TJ Schiller.
And surprisingly, that wasn't the best strategy probably for Favre there, because TJ's got it made now.
Well, yeah, Favre went for the zero spin. It's a hard trick, but if you crash, you're essentially out. All TJ has to do is put down a basic trick, land it clean, and he's moving on. And that's exactly what he did with that nice cork 540.
So Schiller easily advances into the finals, and that's just good big air tactics. But there is still one more semi to be contested, and there's the 14-year-old Derek Spong on his second jump. He won the first of 2 jumps.
It's just downright exciting seeing a 14-year-old come out of nowhere, literally skiing backwards. He's in the semifinals. He's up 1-0 over Jaquet Wester, and here comes the second jump.
Derek wraps up a switch 900 on this jump, takes 180 degrees of rotation off of his jump. Not as difficult to jump, and now he's just opened the door for this man, Jaquet Wester.
Here comes the Swede. He knows he's up against the wall right now. He needs to put down an amazing jump. Look for the switch 1080 as he threw before and see if he can't stomp that landing. Here it comes. And
perfection.
Sure enough.
Perfection from Jaquet Wester. No question, that was a better jump than Spong.
And all the detail work was there. Look on the right side of the screen. You see him tweak it out with the grab, stomp the landing. A better jump than Spong's. Now it's tied up 1-1 going into the sudden death final.
So Jaquet Wester, the Swede, tied up with Derek Spong. He'll come down to the third jump. The question, can the 14-year-old Spong make some magic? We'll find out after this when the Big Air Finals continue.
The 2005 U.S. FreeSkiing Open is being brought to you by Saab, the state of independence, and by Solomon and Xbox.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nighttime in the Rockies here in Vail, Colorado. Pat Parnell, along with Mike Douglas, Uncle E, and Charlotte Motes, as we are in the midst of the men's Big Air, and there's the story of the evening. 14-year-old Derek Spong, this his third and final jump in the semis. Can he make it to the finals and make some history here?
No expectations whatsoever. If he wins this round, he'll go on to the finals. And look at that size of that big giant switch 1080. Unbelievable. At 14, able to stick that landing, sailing probably 100 feet down the landing hill.
You know, and at 14 years old, look at the props from guys like Tanner Hall and Simon Dumont coming up, hugging young Spong. That's going to make his life right there.
What the validation he truly wants is the nod from the judges. But right now, Wester, the Swede, his chance to answer that jump. Remember, best 2 jumps will move that skier into the finals.
This will decide it. Wester hits the lip, winds up the same jump, and washes out just a bit on the landing. That might just be the difference.
Yeah, when we look back, we see both guys looking clean in the air. Wester goes by, over-rotates a bit. Spong puts a hand down, but over-rotating is going to make you lose more points.
So at an age where you can still buy a Happy Meal, 14-year-old Spong gets the decider on his third and final jump from the judges. The judges obviously rewarding just the sheer amplitude, the distance on that jump. And we see it time and time again, year after year here in Vail at the U.S. FreeSkiing Open. These young Groms come out of anonymity and make their debut. Interesting when you consider the fact he's meeting TJ Schiller in the final. Schiller came here last year, surprised everyone. So the final is set for Big Air.
It happens every single year, too. Anybody can sign up. That's the beauty of the U.S. FreeSkiing Open, an open format. All eyes on TJ Schiller dropping in right now for his first jump of potentially 3. Here he goes. He's been throwing the 1080 all night long, very comfortable with it, in great style, and decides just to go switch 720, 1 full S rotation.
Well, that's an interesting strategy from Schiller. Now he's left the door open for Spong. If Spong keeps doing the same trick, he's going to advance in this round.
So now the chess game has started. Does the 14-year-old, does he do the 7? Does he play it safe? Where does he dig in his repertoire?
I'm not sure he has a repertoire or can even spell it. He's probably just going to stick with the arsenal he's been throwing all night, and that's that switch 10 with style. No! He goes switch 9, unable to land, and, well, TJ Schiller one up.
Yeah, you never know what's going on up in the gate. There's sometimes some head games going on. Maybe Schiller and Spong were up there talking. Schiller decided to play it safe and put a little bit of reverse pressure on Spong.
So to recap, Schiller up by 1 out of the 3 jumps. It is the top 2 jumps here in the finals, and a chance for Schiller to solidify it on a solid second jump. But first, Spong goes on the second jump.
To be 14 in the finals at the U.S. FreeSkiing Open, a benchmark for this young man's career, regardless win, lose, or draw, which can't happen. This guy will walk away very happy and should be very pleased with what he's done here tonight.
Spong wraps up a huge switch 1080, absolutely perfect, taken way, way, way down the hill. That's more of the performance he was hoping to get, and that's going to put some pressure on TJ Schiller in this second round of 3.
All right, Derek, you're 14 years old. Is this starting to set in? Are you realizing that you might win the finals of the U.S. Open?
Very slowly.
Are you trying not to think about it?
Yes.
So perhaps a little blissful, youthful ignorance, but remember, Schiller won the first jump of 3. Now, this next jump for Schiller, that could be the big decider. It's very clutch. If Schiller pulls out the big guns, it'll all be over.
And you're looking at TJ Schiller up top. He's up 1-0. If he sticks this one and does something miraculous, he'll take the title here. But Spong at 14 put down an unbelievable jump that we just witnessed. Now it's all up to TJ Schiller.
You know what's interesting, too, is these guys are up at the top watching each other. Schiller knows that Spong just laid it down, and he knows he's going to have to put his jump down to perfection, and here he goes. Oh, wow, man. Schiller delivered, no question, probably the most stylish jump we've seen tonight. Very close between him and Spong, but when we look back and see the style and how long Schiller held the grab on this, it was quite remarkable.
Yeah, we're talking amplitude, style, difficulty, and the landing. That's exactly what the judges are asking for, and he delivered it. And look at the grab on the right side of the screen by Schiller, holding on to it, and we've just been told that TJ Schiller is the winner, and we've got Charlotte Moats down below.
All right, so TJ, last year you were runner-up. This year the fireworks are for you. What was your strategy coming into it this year to land on top?
I just had a game plan. I had my tricks already planned out. I knew I was going to stomp them, and I just stuck to my game plan all night. I just wanted to be consistent. I did that, and I went against crazy 14-year-old Derek the Man, and it was sick. I'm just stoked that I could come back from second last year to first this year.
It was the Switch 1080 that decided redemption and victory for TJ Schiller. Focused, determined, and came back in the final when he needed it most. An explosive finish here at the 2005 FreeSkiing US Open Big Air. And of course, congrats goes out to our top 3 finishers. The young 14-year-old Derek Spong in second, Laurent Favre making his way out of the consolation round, and of course, TJ Schiller, the champion of Big Air. We send it down to Mike Douglas, who's made his way down to the revelry to wrap things up.
It's been a spectacular weekend of action here at the U.S. FreeSkiing Open, and once again, these skiers have taken the sport to new heights. For Pat Parnell, Uncle E, and Charlotte Moats, I'm Mike Douglas signing off from Vail. We'll see you next year.